Wood burnishing is a technique used to smooth and polish wood surfaces to give them a glossy and smooth finish. The process involves rubbing a hard, smooth object, such as a burnisher, over the wood surface to compress and smooth out the fibers. This technique can be used on raw wood, as well as on surfaces that have already been sanded or finished. To burnish wood, you will need a few basic tools: a burnisher. This can be a metal tool specifically designed for burnishing wood, or it can be a hard and smooth object such as a bone folder, spoon, or even a pencil eraser. A burnisher is a tool used to smooth and polish wood surfaces by compressing and smoothing out the fibers. It is a specialized tool designed specifically for burnishing wood and is typically made of a hard, durable material such as steel, brass, or even bone. The burnisher typically has a pointed or rounded tip, and the handle is usually made of wood or plastic to ensure a comfortable grip. The burnisher's tip is the most important part. It has to be hard and smooth. It is usually hardened steel and is polished to a mirror finish to provide the necessary smoothness and durability. There are different types of burnisher available. Some burnisher has a single tip, while others have a double tip, with a round tip on one end and a pointed tip on the other end. This allows the burnisher to be used in various ways depending on the surface of the wood and the desired finish. The use of burnisher is simple, but it takes a bit of practice to get a good result. The wood surface should be prepared by sanding it to a smooth finish, then a burnishing medium such as beeswax is applied to the surface before burnishing. The burnisher should be held at a slight angle to the wood and then moved back and forth in a circular motion, applying moderate pressure. The burnisher should be moved in the direction of the grain, as burnishing against the grain can cause scratches and marks. Burnisher is a great tool for wood burnishing. It's versatile, relatively inexpensive and easy to use. It can be used to achieve a variety of finishes, from a glossy and smooth surface to a more subtle and natural-looking finish. Sandpaper is commonly used in the process of polishing or varnishing various surfaces, such as wood, metal, or plastic. The process of varnishing involves using progressively finer grits of sandpaper to remove imperfections, scratches, and other marks on the surface and to create a smooth and shiny finish. To use sandpaper for varnishing, you will need a variety of grits of sandpaper, starting with a coarse grit and working your way up to a fine grit. Begin by using the coarse grit sandpaper to remove any major imperfections or scratches on the surface. Then, use progressively finer grits of sandpaper to smooth out the surface and remove any remaining scratches or marks. It is important to use a light touch when sanding, and to sand in the direction of the grain of the wood, if applicable. After sanding with each grit of sandpaper, wipe the surface clean with a damp cloth to remove any dust or debris. Once you have finished sanding with the finest grit of sandpaper, you can apply a final polish or wax to the surface to create a glossy finish. It is important to note that the amount of sanding required will vary depending on the condition of the surface and the desired level of shine. Overall, using sandpaper for varnishing is a simple and effective way to improve the appearance of a variety of surfaces. It's important to use the right grit of sandpaper. Start with the coarser grits and work your way up to finer grits, and to sand in the direction of the grain. If the wood surface is rough or has been previously finished, it's best to start with a lower grit sandpaper, such as 120 or 220 grit to remove any imperfections before burnishing. Beeswax is a popular burnishing medium that can be used in place of sandpaper to achieve a smooth and shiny finish on various surfaces. Beeswax is a natural wax that is derived from the honeycomb of bees and is known for its ability to protect and nourish wood, metal, and other surfaces. To use beeswax for burnishing, you will need to melt the wax and apply it to the surface using a clean cloth or brush. Once the wax has been applied, use a soft cloth or a burnishing tool to buff the surface to a shine. The heat and pressure generated by the buffing process causes the wax to melt and fill any small imperfections in the surface, resulting in a smooth and polished finish. Beeswax is also a good medium for protecting surfaces, as it creates a water-resistant barrier that can help to prevent damage from moisture or other environmental factors. Additionally, beeswax is a safe, non-toxic, and eco-friendly alternative to other burnishing products. Another burnishing medium that can be used instead of sandpaper is carnauba wax, which is derived from the leaves of the carnauba palm tree. Carnauba wax is a hard wax that is known for its high melting point and ability to create a glossy, durable finish. Like beeswax, carnauba wax can be applied to a surface using a cloth or brush and then buffed to a shine. In conclusion, beeswax and carnauba wax are alternative burnishing mediums that can be used instead of sandpaper. Both are natural and eco-friendly, and they can protect and nourish surfaces while providing a smooth and shiny finish. Different types of woods will respond differently to burnishing. Hardwoods such as oak, maple, and cherry are well suited for burnishing and will produce a smooth, glossy finish. Softwoods such as pine and cedar, on the other hand, may be more challenging to burnish and may not produce as smooth a finish. However, if the wood is properly prepared, and if you use the right tools and techniques, it's possible to achieve good results with any type of wood. To burnish wood, start by sanding the surface with progressively finer grits of sandpaper, ending with a fine grit such as 320 or 400 grit. Next, apply a small amount of beeswax or other burnishing medium to the wood surface. Hold the burnisher at a slight angle to the wood, and rub it back and forth in a circular motion, applying moderate pressure. Continue burnishing until the wood surface becomes glossy and smooth. It's important to note that burnishing should be done in the final stages of woodworking, as it can remove a small amount of material. Therefore, it's important not to burnish an area that still needs to be shaped or sanded. Furthermore, it's important to be aware of the wood grain direction, as burnishing against the grain can cause scratches and marks. Burnishing can be a time-consuming process, but the results are well worth it, as it can transform a plain-looking wood surface into a glossy and smooth work of art.